Hello, welcome back to Gravel Pit Road. On today's episode, how to lose money farming.
Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination.
Step one to losing money is install $400 worth of culvert pipe and gravel. Second step to losing money farming, go spend $5,500 on a 1987 TR86 Beauty. This is part of the routine in the wetlands. It's looking not terrible. It's time to drill, baby, drill. Well, the field could be better. Here we are in the field, June 30th. Almost finished. I just got that little patch left there to do. But here's field one, the old cow pasture. And so it's August 17th today. August 26th, the big field. August 31st. But am I going to lose money on it? And how much money am I going to lose? Here we are in the cow pasture. Look at these guys. Got a flat tire. That was unexpected. I'm gonna take these, I'm gonna leave that one on. That looks good in factory. I guess it serves a purpose, but that is cheesy garbage. These are gonna break and send that thing through the machine and tear something up. But this will be the first time running this old girl. Cutter bars look good, everything looks good. Check the fluids, get this tire aired up, get these cheesy little flaps off. I'm gonna hit the field. That's my brother Steve. He's married to my sister, you know. It's his first time ever driving a combine. Combine's doing real good. It's eating everything, spitting nothing out except trash. Beans are staying in. That's all you can ask for. Beautiful day. Rain's coming tomorrow though. These beans are pretty light over here. They're not making much. Better than nothing. late November, the week of Thanksgiving, and we did that field probably 3 or 4 weeks ago when the leaves were falling. And I'm just now getting into here because I've been working on my truck. That's a whole nother video. I lost my brakes on the truck before I even got started. And I got some to do there, and over there it's wet. Back in the back it's wet, but I may go ahead and mud my way into it. And I had a big malfunction. So there is about, I don't know, 5 bushels of beans on the ground. There's about 1 or 2 bushels. And here's about another 2 bushels, 1.5. Because my unloading auger kept turning itself on. And that was really annoying. And what I figured out was this belt system here, this is the drive belt, and this up here is the unloading auger belt, and there's an idler pulley that goes up here somewhere, and I thought the idler pulley was catching, and so I took the keeper off and took the belt and put it on top of the idler, and it still did it. And the third time it did it, the bolt that I had loosened vibrated out, fell on this wheel, knocked the drive belt over halfway off. So I had to go up top and unloosen the screw bolt to take the tension off the tension pulley right there, so I could put the drive belt back on. And then I realized that the unloading auger belt was flipped upside down. And man, what a pain. But I got it to flip back over, but I lost the bolt for the idler pulley, which I think I have one that'll fit it. It's a 3/4 inch head wrench. It looked like just a coarse thread 3/4 head wrench. You know what I'm talking about. So here we go, budding my way through, making some tire tracks to clean up in the spring. That's great. But runs good, and it cuts beans good. But it only takes one major malfunction, and you got a problem. And that's what I'm dealing with. So let's see if I can finish this up. Well, I just started it up. Now I got another bushel on the ground because for some reason the belt is still spinning. Did it flip upside down? It did not. I don't know why this belt is grabbing. It doesn't make any sense. There's nothing. It's just friction. I got this shield down so I can't. There's no reason for it to be grabbing. Well, the saga continues of how to lose money. It's now the first week of December. I have that little field to get in, about 3 acres in the old cow pasture. I still have a little bit to do in the other field if it's not too soft out there. Right now, I gotta put this big belt back on, the big drive belt, because when I was unloading the beans into the truck, when I had the disaster in the field with the auger kicking on, the belt came apart. When I got over here to the truck, I got the beans unloaded, what little was left in them, and it jumped this belt off the main clutch, one groove. So the way to do that is, this is the idler pulley right here, or the tension pulley, and up here next to the engine, you can't tell, but there's the exhaust pipe, and there's the catwalk for the engine, and I'm on a ladder. You just loosen this long threaded bolt. You just back it off, loosen the tension on this pulley, and then I'll go down below and I'll be able to easily work the belt back on. And it's shiny. You probably can't see it. Yeah, you can see it. It's shiny there. That's where I'm backing it off. I'll back it down to here where I did before and it worked. And then tighten it back up. And I'm not going to put the unloading auger belt, the $85 belt that I bought from New Holland, Case New Holland. I'm not going to put it back on to unload the auger until I know I have beans back in this bin. That way I'll be sitting next to the truck, and if it decides to automatically kick on the auger while I'm combining beans and I got a brand new belt on there, I'm gonna put it all back on the ground out in the field. So I'm not gonna be stupid and put the belt on until I'm finished cutting beans. Then I'll come up to the truck and I'll put the belt back on, try to get things adjusted properly, and then let it unload all at once into the truck. So here's that clutch with the main belt, which is almost a $600 belt. It's actually in good shape, and I'm going to keep it that way. But it jumped off one groove when that belt came off that pulley up here with the auger that's in the grain bin. It came across, it broke, came across into here and walked this belt over instantly. But it doesn't look like it hurt anything. The belt has some age on it, but the back, everything is good. I hope it stays that way. I don't want to tear it up. Then I got to figure out how to, oh, there's a grease zerk right there. I need to grease this because I haven't greased it. I'm going to fill that thing up. And I'm going to walk this on off camera because it takes two hands and a little bit of strength, and I don't have a whole lot. Well, I got the guards, both guards off, and I think here's a big part of my problem. Why this belt was sticking. All that black you see at my thumb, that's melted rubber from that old crappy belt. I'll clean that up. All right, folks, let's see how this little patch goes. It's a lot of combine for a little tiny patch of beans that hopefully will give me no trouble. Wish me luck. Head going down. Very slow. It's slow when it's hot. Today it's very cold. I'll let this thing warm up a little bit. That buzzing noise is a blower that I'm going to turn off because I have no heat. I don't know why, but there's no heat. All right, I'm creeping. Let's give her some juice. That was working, and it quit. Mice are not nice to equipment. Engage the internals. When I lost my belt on my auger, they must have knocked the sensor off or broke a wire, because it says drives engaged. I don't know exactly what that means. I still got some beans in there. Engage the reel, just down here as I move you all over the place. Right, yeah, there we go. Let's see if I can do this all with one hand. If I get my finger in the way, I'm sorry. I'm filming with my phone. Full steam ahead. My head is all in the ground for some reason. Short, and for some reason this head, I guess that's why they put those black pieces of rubber on there, was to knock those beans in, the way this head is built. I'm just going to take it nice and easy. I don't want to break anything. I did beans. This is about the conditions I was doing them in. I don't remember what happened, but for some reason I was late. All right, let's see what I can do. Almost got stuck. It's just not cold enough to freeze the ground. Cold enough to crust it on top. But if you watched episode 1 of How to Lose Money Farming, it was super wet in here. I buried the disc in the tractor. I had a tough time getting everything out and made monster ruts. I almost did it again. I was able to back out. I'm gonna come in from the other side and see if I can get the rest of those beans after I do this row here. The only issue I'm having is because I didn't pump any fertilizer in these beans. They're real short, and I've learned from this New Holland head that it definitely wants a taller bean. So what happens is they build up on the cutter bar, and then they'll go in all at one time. A big chunk goes dragging in, kind of bogs the machine a little bit. Doesn't bog it, but every now and then I hear the feeder house, you know, it sounds like it's getting clogged. And also it'll lay the beans down. It'll lay some beans down. I don't know if you can see them. Yeah, it'll lay some beans down on the ground, not cut them, because they're piling up on the cutter bar. So I have to stop and back it up just a hair, and then it'll clear itself. But then it'll take them all at one time, and you hear a chunk in the machine. But it's cutting. They're getting ready to go. There they go. The side over here is building up. See the beans staying straight up and down. I can see them. They're not getting dragged in. So I gotta go back up, and it's probably not good for the head to back it up, but you do what you gotta do. There we go. There we go. It cleared. Slippery. Trying to not pick up dirt clods from my rut. I don't even know if I can cut these beans. Am I going to make it? Getting into the mud world. Almost there. I'm starting to slide. And I got it. Now, look at those ruts. Wonder what I'm sitting in. I see them, but getting close. Go this way. See if we can get out of here. Oh boy. I don't want to back all the way out. I'm getting heavy. Oh, I got traction. I got traction. Last pass. I think I'm in the clear. I don't expect to get stuck here. It's fairly high and dry. away how wet it is over there. But this field outperformed its expectations, that's for sure. For what I put into it, which was basically nothing, how late I planted, unbelievable. And I'm frozen. I'm gonna have to put my little propane buddy heater in here because right now I got the blower running just to keep the window from fogging up, but it's just blowing ice cold air, and I'm starting to shiver a little. It's about 28 degrees outside. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift off. We did it. How about that? How about that? Alright, I'm back in the big field and it's wet. I'm making some ruts and there's spots where I'm calling very, very slowly as it muds its way through. Almost got stuck over there, but I didn't. I'm still cooking. Made it this far. I'm gonna leave that over there. It's thin, full of weeds or grass, and it's really wet. I'm afraid I'm gonna get stuck over there. I could build a pond back in there. And that's a spot that the drill missed. It didn't drop and set seed for some reason. I wasn't paying attention. That whole row. I'm gonna creep back here and see how wet it is in the back, and see if I can pick this little bit of beans up. I suspect it's going to be wet. It's getting it done. It's a little wet, but it's fighting its way through it. Just slipping, going slow. Just a little more to go. A couple more passes. This is it. You can see it through my dirty window. The last little bit. I'm going to sneak over there and see if I can grab that little patch because I'm greedy and not get stuck. But we'll call it a success if I can make it back to the house. It's getting wet. The sun's coming out. Shut it down. That's the way it goes. This is the moment of truth. Wait sign to start dumping. They like my beans. He showed me a bucket under a counter of all the beans they've been getting. It was garbage. Dried up, shriveled up, full of trash. Mine are beautiful. 12.8% moisture. 13% is the goal. They're whole beans, they're full, they're not cracked, there's not a ton of trash. They really like them. They put them in bin 10, which is where all the good beans go. Now it's just to find out how much I weigh and how much I get. And if I made money. Dumping. We are dumped, empty. Want to go back on the scale, find out what the final weight is. I borrowed a plant from a neighbor's field just for comparison, and you can see their plant has a lot more pods than mine does, but they planted a lot earlier. You can see, looking at the pods, that my pods are as healthy as the neighbor's pods. Theirs are just more mature, and because they planted earlier, mine are still green. And then you see the beans themselves, again, mine are filled out, but they're still green, so they're swollen, while the neighbor's beans are dried up and ready to sell. I harvested the bulk of these beans late in December, 269 bushels. I estimate I lost about 25 bushels on the ground when the auger malfunctioned and started dumping beans on the ground. The beans turned out to be a really good quality, and I got top pay for them, $9.87 a bushel for that month anyway. The goal for moisture is 13%, no more, no less, and mine were 12.3, so they were darn near perfect. Seed and annual truck expenses is where the bulk of the money went, and that's not counting the equipment purchases and all the repairs I had to buy parts for. I got about 20 bushels to the acre, which would be terrible if I had a high input cost. I didn't spend much money, so it offsets. Now with those, let's say, poor numbers that I just showed you, you would think, why would a guy do this again next year? Why would you try and spend money on this big machine right here and keep things going? You know, $500, that's not worth it, especially if you have to fix anything. I mean, one part on this guy could cost you $500, but you do it because you like it. And I think that's why farmers continue to fight it every year. You know, this year, beans, if they had contracted beans, maybe they were doing 10 or 12 dollars a bushel. And supposedly a few years ago, it jumped up to $15 a bushel. I wasn't doing it. I didn't see it. But I do remember selling beans for over $12 a bushel. And I think I got 45 bushels to the acre that year. I had more input. I put more fertilizer on the ground. Fertilizer was cheaper. I made more money. So it's a tough thing. Farming is a very, very tough way to try and make a buck. You know, the way it's designed right now, you need 500 acres just to say you're making any money, I'm thinking. You know, you need 1,000 or 5,000 acres to make a living at it, especially if it's a family farm. You know, one of the channels I watch, Laura Farms, she talks about putting in millions of pounds of corn. Millions of pounds of corn. And she essentially talked about what I'm talking about now. Did they make money at the end of the year, or did they not make money? And they're smart, young couple, and she says they made money. I believe her. She doesn't say how much money they made. They didn't lose the farm. That's the important part. You know, you equate it to your salary. If you're making $50,000 a year and you're happy with that, and you can make $50,000 a year working for yourself farming after all expenses, then good, do it. It's a great experience. It's hard work. It truly is the backbone of this country, even though it's not the #1 industry. 150 years ago, up until 150 years ago, agriculture, that was the thing. Everybody was working for a farmer or having something to do with the production down the line, you know? Not everybody, but employed a lot of people. Not today. Today, farmers around here that grow hay can hardly find help. I grew up putting in hay. Anyway, that's a soapbox I'm not going to get onto. Times have changed. The way our government manages the grain as a commodity has probably changed. And prices have only gone up. However, it will not deter me, because this year I did it on the cheap. I just wanted to clean the fields up, get into it a little bit, and see if it was something I wanted to pursue or lease it out to somebody else. And, you know, a friend of mine was going to lease it, and it didn't work out. It was too wet in the spring. He made me an offer, and I didn't want to do it. It was a good offer, and I should have done it, but I didn't. And I did it myself. And I'm kind of glad for his sake that he didn't do it, because, you know, what he was going to pay me is about what I produced, and that would have been free money for me, but it wouldn't have helped him at all. It would have hurt him more than likely. Doesn't mean that I won't hand over the fields to him someday, but next year I'm going to do soil tests. I'm going to consult with my grain dealer and take his advice, because he knows what he's doing. He's a supplier and he's a farmer. He's very smart. I'm going to listen to him, and I'm going to see if I can push this production without breaking my arm and leg to 50, 55 bushels to the acre. I don't think this land can produce that, but there are tricks. There are tricks and things that you can do to make it happen. So what the heck? What do I got to lose? I'll give it a shot, see what happens. It's like going to a casino and playing a slot machine. You know how much money you're putting in when you pull that lever. You know how much money you're putting in when you stick it all into the ground, but you don't know what you're going to get at the end until the weather does its thing, until those tumblers stop rolling on that slot machine. You don't know what you're going to get at the end, and that's what makes it exciting. I think that's why farmers continue to do it every year, because it's a gamble and you get hooked on it, and they enjoy it, and I enjoy it. So I'm going to close this season out. The grain is sold. It's a gloomy, rainy, mid-December day, and I've been relaxing for a week or two because this project made me tired, but I'm going to hit it again next year, hopefully with the equipment that is for the most part repaired. I have a few things to fix, nothing terrible, and we're going to put some seed back in the ground. So closing out December 2024, have a happy new year, Merry Christmas and a happy new year, or happy Hanukkah, or whatever your holiday of choice is, and I'll see you back in the spring on, I might call it how to make money farming, and flip it and see if at the end of the year I actually made money. So look forward to season 2 of how to lose money, how to make money, whatever. We'll figure it out. Have a happy new year. Thanks for watching. That's my brother Steve. He's married to my sister, you know.
World of pure imagination. Take a look and you'll see into your imagination. come